Hi, my name is Fátima and I'm talking to you from Ontario, Canada. So we traveled for 6 weeks in August, a little bit of July, August, and we were back in September. We went to Newfoundland and we have been home for almost a month now, or a month. It was a great trip, and we thought before that we would want to be full-time on the road, but it feels very good to have a home base and to be back to home. And this time of the year is the best time to be here. So we live close to Muskoka area in Canada, in Ontario. And at this time of the year, as you can see all around, the leaves are changing colors. There are no mosquitoes, so it's really, really nice. We have a very small house, but a big piece of land. I don't know if you can hear the waterfall that is behind me, but now you can't see it very much because of the leaves on the trees. But it's gorgeous. It's a place that when you are here, you have to be grateful, because it's beauty all over you, all around you. So it's really nice. But we came back, and I hurt myself in the first week doing laundry. It's so stupid, but that was my excuse not to work on the wood. I think we'll be okay. If not, we can just buy some more pressed wood and we'll be fine. But I think we'll be okay with what we have. My husband has been working around on preparing the house for winter. We have built a shed last year, and this year we are adding a wood stove so that we can work there in the winter. And it's still a mess. Like, our house is 1,040 square feet, so it's not a big house, but it looks big because it's empty. It's minimalist. But our shed, our shed is another story. It is very cozy. It's smaller than our house, but it's full. And so now we are working on the wood stove, because we got a few cold days, and we have to organize it before we can show it to you. But it's going to be nice, because I still want to do stuff there. I want to weave some rugs before I stop using that loom. I brought it from Brazil when I came to Canada. And it's a very good sturdy loom for rugs. But I don't think I'll be making that many more rugs anymore. So I want to finish all the stash that I have with that. I'm trying to be lighter in life. As you can see, I'm letting my gray hair grow. I tried this 4 years ago or 5 years ago when we sold our house in Toronto. And then I got a shock with how old I was with the gray hair. And I think it's because I cut my hair too short, and then everything was gray suddenly. So I think now I'll have time to get used to the gray hair. My husband doesn't like it, but it's okay. And it's better. It's less one thing in life for me to worry. I hate when I have 2 collars. Now I have 3. But I'm getting used to it, so I think it's going to be okay. Bear with me. But this is a Fibre Podcast. Lately I have been knitting a lot. I have not been spinning much, even though I have some projects. I have been working on some fiber, like my cormo that I washed last spring. I'm now going lock by lock, spreading and take the dirt away so that I can card it. It takes a lot of time to finish it, but you know, a little bit here, a little bit there, I'll get over it. But I have 4 finished projects for this episode, and my first one is my Norbu. And I have some things. I don't know how my gauge worked because I followed the pattern. The pattern, I'm going to get the Norbu here to show, was to have sleeves that were short. Oh, just 1 second, please. And so she has short sleeves, but you can't see. Oh, no, sorry. So she has short sleeves, but I was knitting and my gauge was smaller than the gauge, and my sleeves turned out longer. And I even stopped at a certain time. So my sleeves were to be like here. When I was knitting before I joined, they were here, and I said, okay, it's still shorter. End up that my sleeves are here. I haven't blocked the sweater because I like to see and feel the parts that are coming out. And when you block it, everything gets very flat. But I will have to wash it occasionally. So when I wash it, I will see if I can block the sleeves to go up to here, since they are very close. They need this. And I think it will grow anyway. This is a hand spun yarn. It was 25% silk and 75% BFL. But it's so nice. This whole sweater, I had bought 2 pounds of this fiber. I had dyed one that came out, 1 pound came out darker, and 1 pound came out lighter. So what I did is I blend the hues. And in the last or 2 episodes before, I mentioned that there was a part here that was had a lot of white. But the thing is, that was my idea when I was spinning, and I forgot that I would have something that was all over, not consistent, consistently inconsistent. That is what was going to be, and it really turned out, because you can see the colors. You have some darker parts here and mixes with the lighter colors. And the reason is because I spun the bobbins, and then when I was plying, I took from different bobbins, from the lighter and the darker, and that's how I got it. And it's really nice. It's really light. I love the pattern. I had a little problem doing this part, and the problem that I had to undo it maybe 3 or 4 times. And the problem was that I have a tendency, when I have a pattern, I put the markers everywhere for me to know when I have to do the pattern, right? The detail. But this cable, or not a fake cable or whatever that we have here, it is 6 stitches, but they go from one side to the other. So when I put the marker, it make a whole mess. So when I figured that out and I took all the markers away, then it worked fine, because you have 5 main stitches, but then you come to the right and you go to the left. So you are really working within 7 stitches, and 5 are your main ones. So when I took the markers away, I was able to finish it. Then I found this button. We went to Fabric Land here in Canada, and I found these buttons that I thought they were perfect, because they are also not a consistent color. They have darker and lighter blues, and I think it's perfect. The other thing is I don't like to pick up stitches, so I try to avoid it as much as I can. I normally do my buttonholes with the ribs going up. But I think that's the beauty of following a pattern, is that you learn new things and you have to try new things. So that's what I did with this. And I'm very happy. Then, as I told you, I had 2 pounds of this yarn. And I didn't want to make another one the same color. So I over-dyed my yarn, and I saved a little bit just in case. But I over-dyed my yarn with black, and that's what I got. I think it's beautiful. I really love it. And I was looking at, I don't know if it's inspirations. It's from Jorge Locatelli. And she had a pattern there that I thought was really nice for my daughter. And as I said, my house is small. My closet is even smaller. So I'm coming to the point that I have no more space there. So things have to get out. But I thought of making to Paula. So I start something. I'm not going to talk much about it. It's just inspired in one design from Jorge Locatelli that I'm changing. I look at the picture and I'm thinking, what am I going to do? But I really love the yarn, and I really love the color. Both colors are beautiful. And I showed my daughter, she likes the color. And if she doesn't like, then I can give to a niece or I can use it myself. So this is a project that it's just an idea, and it was a test. So my second finished project was the socks. When we were coming back, we left New Brunswick, and I think we had 1,600 kilometers to come. So I finished this pair of socks, and I thought they were going to be short, but they're bigger. This one I started on the way, and I had come to both pairs because I knit more or less together. And normally, this is the height that I have for my socks, but I like to wear them folded. So if you see, this socks was even higher than that one, than what I normally like to wear. But the socks turned out really good, and I have both here. I just, so this was still from the trip. Then I came back home. It took me a little bit longer to finish this, that I had advanced quite well. So I have the 2 pairs of socks done. I love socks. And then my last finished project is my Norbu, my Carbeth. And this is a design from Kate Davis. Let me get her here. So when I went to Prince Edward Island, I went there because I wanted to visit the Fleece and Harmony. So this is the Carbeth from Kate Davis. And funny enough, Fleece and Harmony is doing a cowl on Kate Davis pattern. So if you're still knitting, I think there is still time to join the cowl. And I just knew it afterwards, but I wanted to buy it anyway, the wool to do it. And the wool that I bought is the Signature Crown Wing. It is a beautiful yarn. I really like it. I like the consistent, I like how soft it is. I really like this yarn. It is 100% wool. Let me just confirm, yeah, 100% wool. And it's their wool, their yarn, the thing. So this sweater, it starts in the bottom up, and you work front and back in here. And when you come to the sleeves, you are supposed to work the 2 sleeves and then join and start working back and forth. And I remember my friend Chris, when she made her first Carbeth, she mentioned that her gauge was different from the part that she was working front and back to the round. Now, this was almost 5 years ago. Now I think, yeah, that's why they tell us to get our samples in the round if we are working in the round. But the thing here is that I don't like to sew anything. I like to work on a project, and when I finish, it's finished. But I was watching Chris Akemi. She's a Brazilian podcaster, and she has one podcast on knitting 2 sleeves at the same time. And in her podcast, she was mentioning that she uses Continental because we knit Portuguese style, and it's hard if you are going to put the yarn and then on your neck and then take it out to do the second sleeve. So I did a try because maybe a year ago I learned how to knit collar work, Portuguese collar work, using the 2 lines on my neck. So I just put one line this way, one thread this way, and the other thread the other way. But not to make it too complicated for me, I worked it in the open. So I did the rib in the round, but then I worked the rest in the open, and I seam it together afterwards. But it was interesting because it worked. So my next step would be to try to knit 2 sleeves at a time in the round with the yarns on my neck, because I'm much faster that way. So that was a good learning process for me. It was great. The other thing, this is a very cool design. All you do is, once you get the parts together, this is not block it. That's why it's all full of curves. I think the moment I block it will be nice, and I will block this one. So you work up to the sleeves, and then you work the sleeves up to here. And another thing, when I was working the sleeves, I thought the sleeves were too high, but because the pattern is in a way that you decrease every row that you have, the sleeves somehow came up. So I'm glad I used the 47 centimeters that she mentioned for the sleeves. Another learning process is that when I was putting my buttons on, I had to do it a few times, and because I was trying to do it very solid, it was hell to take them out. So I think in the future, if I have to put buttons, I will just put it loosely, close it, and then see how it looks, if it's in the right position or not. Now, the nice thing about this this sweater, first of all, I made it for myself, and it does fit me. It's tight, but it fits me. So, and the reason is that it's tight is because I knew that the proper gauge was going to be, the requested gauge was 14 stitches per 10 centimeters, or for 4 inches. And this yarn gives you 16 stitches for 4 inches. But because the size was bigger, I thought it's going to work. And it works. It fits me. It closes. Everything is perfect. And if I wash, also Kim from Fleece and Harmony, she mentioned that the yarn tend to, when you wash it, to open up and shorten up. So for this reason, I added a few rows here, because if it is to shorten up, I want to be sure that it's going to fit me. I wanted to. Then my daughter came here this weekend, and she loves black, And normally she doesn't like anything I show her as a pattern. And I did this for me. And she says, oh, it's a bad thing to say, but it looks perfect on me. And I said to her, okay, I can give it to you. So she was pretty happy, but it was not finished. So when I finished it yesterday, Monday, because she went back on Sunday, I showed her and I said, it fits me. It's going to be big on you, but if you want, it's okay. She says, it's okay. I'm going to have that oversized look. It really looks better on her, but anything will look better on her anyway. So it's done. It was a very pleasurable knitting because it goes really fast. I think it took me a little bit over a week to finish it, even though I did other stuff during that week, because the pattern also tells you to wear needle 6.5, but I don't like the fabric of a 6.5. I think it gets too loose. I used a 5.5. And the thing that I had to say is that when I went to Newfoundland, I checked the yarn that I wanted to buy. I checked the yarn that I wanted to buy when I went to Fleece and Harmony, something that would fit my Carbeth, because I knew this is the sweater that I wanted to do. And when I went to that store, Cast On Bind Off, they had beautiful yarn and everything, but I didn't find the Chiago knitting needles. Then when I went to Fleece and Harmony and I bought this, I looked for the Chiago knitting needles 5.5 because I didn't have that. I have a lot of needles, but they are not necessarily good needles. But I still use them, like for example, if I need to leave when I'm doing a top-down sweater, I leave the stitches on the same size needles because I have more. I just leave them there and I work with my Chiago here. But when I was at Harmony and Fleece, they had Chiago needles, but they had those that you are attaching the cables, and I don't get along well with those. They keep opening and in the middle of the project. So I do have 2 of those, and I do wear them. I use them, but I rather not. So I couldn't buy the needles in the Fleece and Harmony neither. So when I came back home and I was ready to start my sweater, I went to our local store that is the Knit 3 Together, and sure enough, they had all the needles, they had the sizes. Maybe they didn't have the biggest one, but they had the 32 inches on the 5.5, and that was big enough. So if you want to get needles fast and you are nearby, or if you want to put an order, they do accept mail orders. They always have all the size of the Chiago needs. They also have yarn, but I was trying not to buy any more yarn. But since then, I think I have been there twice to buy needles to start my projects. So these are the 4 finished projects, and I have to say that I calculated, and I would need, I think, 5 or 6 yarns to finish this. Kim helped me, and I think it was 6, and she also came to the conclusion that I needed 6. But I said, I tried this pattern twice and it didn't work because I was chicken short, right? Yarn short. So I bought an extra yarn, and that's very good because I used it. I have this left over that is probably almost a yarn, but I used it quite a bit, so I can try to blend this with something else. The reason I had more is because I wanted my cardigan to be longer, and the design is for a crop sweater. So I'm very glad I bought more. I can definitely find something to do with this one. So these are my finished projects. I'm very happy. I liked it, and I'm happy that Paula wants it, because I want to give her stuff, and it's so hard to find something that she liked. So when she said she wanted this, even though it's bigger, well, I'm glad she does. So now my work in progress. What I have been doing, I follow many podcasts, and many of them are in Portuguese. So Mariana from Meias Marias started a new cow, and I'm doing this shawl that is a Paula Pereira shawl. You can find the pattern in English. This one is in English and Portuguese. And this is something I bought a while ago. Oh, let me do this. Sorry guys if you keep seeing my game here, but I closed it. I just don't know how to show it so that it doesn't reflect. But this is the shawl. So I started working on it, but the interesting thing is not so much the shawl. This is some yarn that I bought at Knit 3 Together a while ago, and I haven't started knitting. And I bought the 3 yarns for that. And when I bought, I think I didn't read the recipe, what is a bad thing, because I need to put the dark color first, but I think it will work. So they're all sock yarn, different sock yarns. I'll talk more about the yarns when I'm done with it. And so the cow, this cow is really nice, because it's to celebrate 10 years that she has the brand Meias Marias, so as a vlog and as a YouTube channel. And but I haven't participated in knit-alongs before. Oh, this year I started the shawl, the Versailles shawl, and now I'm doing this, and I have another one. But the nice thing about this shawl, and maybe the Versailles too, because we had, no, this is the first one really that we are having meetings. So we have Zoom meetings. And we have some Instagram meetings and Zoom meetings. So we're going to have 7 Zoom meetings. We had 2 already. And we have 3 Instagram meetings. I like the Zoom meetings because, first of all, there are many of the other Portuguese podcasters are participating in this cow. And so it's nice to be able to talk to them directly. And there are also some people that are not podcasters that are participating. And a lot of nice stories have come out in these 2 episodes. And like, it was very interesting. The last episode was, the 3rd one was this Friday. And I see people talking of their university times, what happened, their children that, teenagers or young adults that don't like their knitting. And I could relate to that, because I thought I was the only one that it was so hard to knit for my daughter. So it has been a wonderful experience, something that takes it to another level. Because when we watch a podcast, we feel like we know that person that is there. But as the person on this side of the camera, we don't know the other person knows us. So when you are having these meetings, you have a chance to interact with the people on a real time. So it's really, really good. The other thing about this cow is that you can eat anything you want. you cannot finish, or you finish, it doesn't matter. It's really a way for you to communicate and be part of it. And sometimes it's hard because when you're trying to knit there, you make mistakes when you want to talk and knit. But it's been a wonderful experience. In the beginning, she said, oh, it is to be 45 minutes to an hour. The first episode, I think it was 3 hours. So they start at 9:15 there. And the first episode ended after midnight for them. For me, it was good because it was like 7, 8 something. And the last episode, I had to leave because Paula was here. But it started at 4:15, and when it was 7 something, we were still talking, but I had to leave because I wanted to be with my daughter. So it's very nice. I really like this, and this is my work in progress. It's a long way to go still. I used a smaller needle than the pattern said, and I think this is reflecting on the length of the project, but I'm going to go with it because I think that's a nice one. And well, so I'll see how it goes. I'll try to finish this. The other thing is that also a Portuguese podcast is starting, it's Nana Oliveira. She's starting a cowl on socks. So October is the sock month, and I wanted to knit a cowl. I bought the yarn when I went to Harmony and Fleece, and I've been seeing this person. Her name in Instagram is Birkebola. I don't know how you spell it, but she has beautiful socks, and I don't know if you're going to be able to get it. Can you see? It is a pair of socks that have some cat designs on it, and I loved it. And my sister Emilia, she is crazy for cats, so I thought this was going to be the perfect pattern for her. So here it is. I started it because this cowl you have to finish it, and it's for the months of October only. I already make mistakes, and I'm going to undo the collar work part and start again. And the mistakes that I did is because when you're knitting collar work Portuguese style, you knit from the back. And when you are knitting from the back, you do not see the design, so it's easier to make mistakes. And I could see that I made mistakes on the second part when I was doing it. So I have to undo and start. I would have to undo one row at least, but I think I will undo everything, and I'll try to learn how to knit collar work continental with 2, or at least 1 in the neck and 1 in the hand. I don't know, but that's it. The other thing is, it's not necessarily a negative, but the yarn is very thin, extremely thin. So I'm trying to use the smallest needles that I have. I use the 2.25 millimeters here, and I'm using 2.5 in here because collar work normally pulls them in, and I don't have a 2 millimeter to wear here, to use here. So I think the 2.5 is good for the collar work. This would be nicer if I had a smaller needle, but I don't. One thing that I noted is that the yarn doesn't have much twist. So sometimes when I'm knitting, I get within the plies, and that's not very nice to knit with. But let's see how it goes. So this is my second knitting progress, and this is for my Nana October cowl, socks cowl. So this is more or less what I have steady. So I've been working on my cormo, Yesterday I put some fiber because I wanted to do some blankets, and I put some fiber. I spun some fabrics specifically to weave them, but we cannot put my 2 looms in the shed. It's not big enough, and my husband is tired of assembling and disassembling the other loom. So I decided I'm going to knit it. And what I wanted to knit was the Hudson's Bay blanket that you have natural and then stripes of blue. And I noticed this week that it's blue, red, blue, yellow, red, and green. So that's the traditional one. And because I have this bunch of yarn there, I want to use it up. So I decided that maybe I'll make some blankets like the Hudson Bay blanket, and I'll try it. So I'll show next time when I have some more progress. Other than that, we're home. We're not doing much. It was a hard one to beat the places that we did the videos, the last 2 videos. But it's very beautiful here right now. I hope you're safe. I hope you're having a good time and that you have knitted or done something while watching this podcast. Thank you for watching. That's the other thing. I was so surprised when I went to my Knit 3 Together to buy the needles. And I mentioned I couldn't look at the yarns because they had a good amount of yarns for sale, like summer yarns. And I said, I can't buy any more because I have bought a lot and I'm also a spinner. And she said, I know. And I said, how do you know? So sometimes it's surreal. We do these videos, and these videos have helped me organize my stuff and be more productive. And I think that sometimes you don't realize that some people on the other side are watching. So I would like to say a big thank you to you that are watching, and I'm grateful. Thank you. Have a great day. Bye. Because I have some friends over and we came to walk in the woods, and I saw on my post box that we had a package, and this is the package that came from Norway. It's from Catarina Von de Escada. Is a Portuguese vlogger, and she was so nice because she was sending to all the Portuguese podcasters a personalized ruler that is for you to measure the gauge, and at the same time you have the things. But I was expecting this, and then I saw this package and I said, something is wrong. But she sent me 2 skeins of Norwegian wool. It is Vide Norske Lamurgarn. And she said here that this bag is a bag full of happiness, and she hopes that I'm happy, and of course I'm happy. It's fiber, there's no way I wouldn't be happy. And this is for dye, and I had the ruler here. So this is so cool. And then she also sent me a very nice letter that came together, and it's very sweet. It's so nice to receive this handwritten letters. It's something special about them. And also some chocolates. So I'm pretty happy. I'm a lucky person. This podcast has brought me so many happiness. Thank you, Catarina. Thank you. Bye. Oh, and this is our waterfall after some rain. It should be dry now, but it's a very wet season here in Canada this year. So it's at full. I'll just leave you with that, and that's it. Thank you. Thank you for watching.